jersey, actually, I integrated all the jerseys throughout the history of the team. Started out making a pattern of the different jerseys, but really kind of in blocks. Like you can see in the sketches, it's more blocked out, where you have one part is the 2012 design, one part is the 2016 design. But it felt too much like it was distant from each other and like separated. So I started trying to find out a way to make it integrated into one big visual, to combine all the elements, the patterns and the different shapes that went throughout the years into one organic kind of pattern instead of different shapes together. Starting out as a motion and graphic designer and art director in movies and television, doing set design, poster design, and gradually I started working in cycling as a designer, designing posters, magazines, everything related to cycling. Actually, my earliest childhood memory with cycling is that my grandfather, he grew up in a bike workshop, and throughout his life he made bikes in his backyard. He had a small wooden shed that was filled to the brim with all kinds of cycling bike parts, and that's my earliest memory, being there with him while he was working on the bikes and making new bikes.
Oh, perfect. Explosive, really visual. Very satisfied. Beautiful. Really beautiful. My favorite thing about it is that you have these very figurative subjects, these very figurative parts which you can read pretty easily. In the back you have this cycler going really fast with a wolf in the back. So you have these two elements, but then everything gets sucked up in this more abstract whole thing. These graphical heart shapes put everything in a nice balanced whole thing. Also in the front you have actually a whole story of the cycler climbing the cobblestone hill, the wolves in the back going with him, actually like more symbolic, and then the crowd in the back with a typical church. You can read it as an abstract explosion of colors and lines, but you can also read it when you look more closely as a little story, figurative story of a cycler riding with the wolves and going up this cobblestone hill. I have this small studio in the heart of Brussels. I'm specialized in hand-drawn animation, and my personal style is explosive, handmade, colorful. There's an urban element, cartoony element, comic element, manga element in it. So it's really a mix of different elements that get combined and make this typical Joost Janssen style. I grew up in Flanders, I grew up flat Flanders, so cycling was everywhere. These pelotons coming by, cycling races being organized. It was really this element which was constantly there in my life. It was something serious.
Nice. Nice colors. Super sweet. The nickname of the race is also called the Hell of the North. So actually on the, let me see, on the back side it says Hell of the North. And this is on the front, it has like the quote saying wolves in hell. It's a very hard race, and there are a lot of cobble roads in it, so I integrated that into the jersey. As well with the, when it rains, it's also a lot of dust in it, so it has a little bit more of this dirty kind of textures in it. Also played a little bit, just a small hint to some of the injuries that a lot of riders get when they fall down, and it's like the link to blood. So it has a bit of a Gothic feel to it, but I kind of like it. It gives it more texture to the design. The race ends in the famous track, which you can see here. It's the letter O, and here you have like the lines in it. We integrated that into the design as well. I'm a graphic artist living in Antwerp. My work is a merger from typography with different kind of techniques and materials combined together to create this unique style. I used to ride BMX when I was a kid with a couple of friends and building dirt jumps and just having fun. And then I took it as a professional sport, so I went to racing. And I grew up in a car body shop of my father. And there I started experimenting with paint, as I was always super fascinated by the look of these jerseys and the gear of the riders. And I started painting helmets and the graphics, applying on bikes, on motorcycles, and that's how the whole thing started.